Ministries and government agencies overseas trip now require ministerial approval. Malaysia will uphold its neutral stance to boost investment and trade. Good evening and salam Malaysia Madani. You're watching Malaysia Tonight. I'm SAHIH. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim today condemned the slew of attacks in Lebanon, targeting pages which injured hundreds of Hezbollah members since Tuesday.
Kenyataan telah dikeluarkan oleh Kementerian Luar mengutuk serangan biadab berbekalan dari Israel menggunakan pager dan maknanya seluruh rakyat yang memakainya akan terkesan paling tidak berperi kemanusiaan. Dia bukan pasukan tentera dan sebagainya, wanita, anak-anak. Jadi kita telah bantah keras.
He said this to reporters after performing Friday prayers at Masjid Darussalam in Puchong today. Latest figures today reveal that 37 people were killed and almost 3,000 were injured when pages used by Hezbollah members, including fighters and medics, detonated simultaneously within 2 days across Lebanon. In addition, Wisma Putra also urges all Malaysians in Lebanon to keep abreast of the latest developments, take precautions and adhere to travel advice from local authorities. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a statement yesterday, said that the Malaysian embassy in Beirut is monitoring developments closely and is in active contact with the local authorities. On another note, the Premier said all projects, trips and tasks abroad involving government ministries, companies and agencies must be referred to their respective ministry secretaries general and department heads and approved by the ministers. Datuk Seri Anwar said the decision to require ministerial approval was made because some boards within government companies and agencies appeared to be making decisions in their own interest.
Reform dalam jabatan kerajaan, syarikat-syarikat kerajaan, agasi-agasi mesti berterusan. Hari Rabu lalu dalam mesyuarat Jemaah Menteri, kita lebih tegas menuntut semua syarikat-syarikat agensi kerajaan, walaupun lembaga berkuasa, tetapi kadang-kadang lembaga buat keputusan yang memihak kepada kepentingan mereka.
He said this to reporters after performing Friday prayers at Masjid Darussalam in Puchong today. Citing an example, Datuk Seri Anwar, who is also the finance minister, said he had personally cancelled an application involving a ministry and government agency which had registered 68 staff members to attend a small exhibition in Berlin, Germany. The country's halal industry players are advised not to be too open about sharing knowledge, strategies and marketing tactics with other countries to maintain Malaysia's leadership in halal product certification. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi emphasised that excessive information sharing may cause other countries to imitate Malaysia's approach, affecting the country's position as a leader in halal products since 1974. He, who is also the chairman of the Halal Industry Development Council, stressed on the importance of Malaysia maintaining its position in the halal industry since national certification is widely recognised by Muslim and non-Muslim countries around the world.
Malaysia telah menempuh nama di dunia untuk menjadi peneraja kepada persijilan dan keluaran produk halal. Kini terdapat 88 badan pengeluar sijil halal di seluruh dunia yang melibatkan 49 negara. Semuanya ada kolaborasi dengan JAKIM, khususnya bahagian sijil halal JAKIM.
Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid said this during his speech at the Halal Ecosystem Transformation Workshop in Kuala Lumpur. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, KPDN, assures that the food supply in flood-affected areas is always sufficient. Its Minister Dato' Armizan Muhammad Ali said that among the measures implemented was to allow major wholesalers, DDW, and selected retailers, DDR, in each district to increase the quantity of controlled goods supply storage limit exceeding 30% of the existing limit throughout the disaster period.
Apabila berlakunya banjir, kita akan autopilot, kita activate pendekatan tersebut untuk memastikan supaya rakyat kita tidak terputus bekalan. Jadi kita telah mengarahkan semua KPDN negeri dan KPDN cawangan untuk sentiasa alert dan bekerjasama dengan jawatankuasa pengurusan banjir di peringkat negeri dan juga daerah.
He said this to reporters after officiating the Terengganu Madani Mega Rahmah Sale 2024 program at the grounds of Surau Al-Iman, Losong Panglima Perang in Kuala Terengganu today. In the meantime, in addition to making preparations in advance, given the unpredictable weather changes, the ministry is also working closely with the Malaysian Meteorological Department, Met Malaysia, to channel information, including rain conditions that may cause flooding in the area involved. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil said the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, has not received any complaints regarding Global Equine Service and Business Holdings GISBH products being sold on social media platforms.
Dalam isu seperti ini, kementerian yang berwajib ialah Kementerian Perdagangan Dalam Negeri dan Kos Sara Hidup. Kebiasaannya sekiranya KPDN melihat ada keperluan untuk menurunkan apa-apa kandungan ataupun ada isu sama ada dari segi copyright, isu-isu kepenggunaan, mereka boleh melalui Seksyen 263 Akta Komunikasi dan Multimedia, mereka boleh meminta Internet Service Provider untuk menurunkan.
He was responding to a question about the need to take down GISBH's advertisements or business products on social media platforms in light of the ongoing investigation by the Royal Malaysia Police PDRM. On 11 September, PDRM launched Op Global, rescuing 402 children from 20 shelters linked to the company in Selangor and Negeri Sembilan. Health screenings of 392 of the rescued children revealed they had suffered physical and emotional abuse. The children are also suspected of being exploited for labour, having been forced to sell products. Coming up, stronger ringgit reflects Madani government's success in changing global perception. Now, Malaysia, like other ASEAN countries, will continue to strengthen its neutral stance so that more investment and trade will flow to the 10 member countries of the bloc. Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Tengku Dato' Sri Zafrul Aziz said Malaysia's growing prestige as a leading economy in ASEAN and Asia and the country's leadership being recognised by the trade bloc put the country in a good position to strengthen ASEAN's position in the eyes of the world. Tengku Dato' Sri Zafrul, who is attending the ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting in Laos now, also took the opportunity to meet with the UK Trade Policy Minister, Douglas Alexander, in a bilateral meeting. The two leaders discussed various ways to increase economic cooperation between Malaysia and the UK ahead of Malaysia's ASEAN Chairmanship next year, which will also be discussed through the 4th ASEAN-UK Economic Ministers consultation in the context of ASEAN. Meanwhile, he said the Troika open-ended dialogue, together with the 3rd ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting with Switzerland, welcomed the finalization and acceptance of the ASEAN-European Free Trade Association Joint Declaration on Economic Cooperation, ASEAN EFTA JDC. He added that the ASEAN EFTA JDC has the potential to create closer cooperation between ASEAN and EFTA in various priority sectors such as investment, trade and others. The National Guidelines on Artificial Intelligence Governance and Ethics (ARGE) were launched today to establish a robust framework for users, policymakers and AI technology providers to ensure adherence to the highest ethical standards. Elaborating further on the matter, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof emphasised that ARGE represents the government's commitment to establishing a safe, ethical and public welfare-oriented technology ecosystem. The development of these guidelines aligns with the Rukun Negara, which emphasises unity through its 5 core principles.
Garis panduan ini bukan saja bertujuan untuk menyediakan kerangka kerja bagi pengguna, pengubah polisi dan penyedia teknologi AI, tetapi juga untuk memastikan setiap langkah yang diambil adalah selaras dengan prinsip-prinsip etika yang tinggi. Ini termasuklah kepada aspek keselamatan, privasi, kebebasan dan hak asasi manusia yang kesemuanya perlu diutamakan dalam pembangunan teknologi ini.
Forest City Iskandar Puteri in Johor will be the first location in Malaysia to offer a 0% tax rate for family wealth offices. Second Finance Minister Datuk Sri Amir Hamzah Azizan said the incentive was among incentive packages to attract international capital to Forest City Special Financial Zone SFZ. The scheme is expected to be operational by the first quarter of next year.
Kita juga akan menarik juga shared services, global shared services agar boleh datang kepada Forest City dan kek di Forest City. Ini termasuklah kalau dari segi fintech, daripada accounting services, daripada financial services kita buat akan datang ke sini. Dan ini juga akan menarik pekerjaan yang lebih bermakna untuk rakyat kita dan juga ada spillover effect daripada transaksi-transaksi yang lain. Untuk menyenangkan kita ada bagi insentif, untuk menyenangkan juga kita ada relocation allowance yang kita beri, jadi merendahkan kos dia untuk masuk ke sini.
He was speaking to reporters after the tax incentives announcement in Iskandar Puteri today. The region of Johor Tengku Ismail officiated the event, also attended by Johor Menteri Besar Dato' On Hafiz Ghazi. The strengthening of the ringgit demonstrates that the Madani government has successfully shifted global perceptions of Malaysia's economic fundamentals. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil noted that the ringgit had reached a high of 4.19 ringgit against the US dollar as of 10:20 a.m. today, surpassing the earlier forecast of 4 ringgit and 50 cent by year end.
Setelah kita meluncurkan dasar ataupun kerangka ekonomi madani, New Industrial Master Plan (NIMP) dan juga dasar peralihan tenaga (NETR), dengan penerbitan 3 dokumen ataupun kerangka ini tahun lalu, Julai, Ogos tahun lalu, dalam tempoh yang singkat kita telah menyaksikan satu perubahan yang cukup mendadak.
The minister said in 2 years, the Madani government has successfully placed Malaysia on the right track, and the country is now witnessing, among other things, a strong ringgit at against the US dollar. Fahmi, who is also the spokesperson for the unity government, highlighted other achievements by the government, including the increase in trade and investments. At the same time, he pointed out that reduction of deficit, stable inflation, rising employment, and consequently low unemployment rates is proof that Malaysia is on the right path. He also said that Malaysia is set to become one of the key regional hubs for semiconductor production and exports worldwide. Malaysia is on track to achieve its export target for this year, projected at 1.5 trillion ringgit. Matre Chairman Dr. Rizal Marikan, 9 Americans, said this forecast is based on the country's exports performance in August, totaling 991 billion ringgit. He added the nation's exports will once again exceed the 1 trillion mark for the 4th consecutive year.
Setakat bulan 8, ekspor kita telah mencecah 991 bilion. Berarti juga pada tahun ini bakal menjadi tahun keempat berturut-turut ekspor berjaya memecah tembok 1 trilion. Dan kita mengharapkan dalam 4 bulan yang berbaki ini kita dapat mencapai sasaran atau mencapai angka 1.5 trilion untuk menjadikan lagi sekali angka yang bersejarah dalam dagangan luar.
He held a press conference after the MIHAS Awards 2024 in the capital. Malaysia is set to create an impressive 200,000 new job opportunities by the year 2023 as part of its proactive approach to transitioning towards a net zero energy system. Sarawak's Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian highlighted that a significant portion of these new jobs will be situated within Sarawak itself, a state that is making significant strides in various green energy initiatives. He stressed the importance of Sarawak's role as a leader in the advancement of sustainable energy solutions and urged the people of Sarawak to take advantage of this favourable situation. In his remarks, Dato' Dr. Sim emphasised that Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Tonopeng is actively and rapidly harnessing the potential of these energy transitions by advocating for the increased production of hydrogen, ammonia and solar energy. He further pointed out that green ammonia is poised to become the main alternative to diesel fuel in the shipping industry, effectively positioning Sarawak as a pivotal player in the global movement towards greener energy solutions. The Deputy Premier also encouraged young people to become actively involved in these emerging fields of green energy and technology, highlighting that their participation is vital for the ongoing development and sustainability of the region's economic future. The Energy Commission EC will issue guidelines for industry players and stakeholders interested in participating in the Corporate Renewable Energy Supply Scheme Crest. Under the program, eligible renewable energy RE generators and corporations can arrange for green electricity supply under agreed terms through the existing supply system. In a statement today, the Ministry of Energy Transition and Natural Resources Petra said it is confident that Crest will drive energy transition goals and boost the electricity supply sector. It aims to increase RE capacity from the current 26% to 40% by 2035 and 70% by 2050. This initiative will also play a crucial role in reducing the carbon footprint of the electricity supply sector and decreasing the country's dependence on fossil fuels for power generation. Interested parties can download the Crest guidelines from the EC's website. The number of visitors and tourists to Malacca had reached 10.16 million as of August this year as part of Visit Malacca Year 2024 TMM 2024.
Sememangnya dalam pelbagai inisiatif yang dibawa oleh kerajaan untuk meraihkan kehadiran pelancong dalam kita memberikan hadiah cabutan nombor bertuah setiap bulan sebuah kereta telah mengambil lebih ramai orang datang melancong dan inisiatif memberikan parkir percuma pada pelancong bila larut malam, merendahkan lagi pembiayaan untuk menaiki kawasan-kawasan pelancongan ini, menarik lebih ramai pelancong di dalam kaedah car free zone yang kita telah perkenalkan selama setahun ini.
He said this to reporters after the 2024 September Malacca Government Monthly Assembly at the Malacca International Trade Centre today. He also revealed that the state government will launch an RM10 meal this Sunday as part of the program. SME Bank Malaysia Berhad Business Export Program or BEP has generated over 74 million ringgit in incremental export sale as of 31st August with 65% of the companies entering new export markets. In a statement today, SME Bank said the program launched in 2020 in collaboration with the Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation and funded by the Entrepreneur and Cooperative Development Ministry has onboarded 84 companies with 48 having recently graduated. SME Bank Acting Group President Chief Executive Officer Dato' Dr. Muhammad Hardi Ibrahim noted that BEP was showcased at the Malaysia International Halal Exhibition 2024. It is one of the bank's key initiatives to support small and medium enterprises, SMEs, within the growing halal industry. Other key initiatives include SME Bank Umbrella Program, Halal Based Financing, and the Capacity and Capability Development Program. SME Bank is also entrusted with managing various programs to boost SMEs in the halal sector. These include the Halal Innovation and Technology Program, Halal Entrepreneur Internationalization Program, Capacity Building Program for Halal Industry Entrepreneurs, and the Halal Product Capacity Development Program, with a cumulative grant allocations of about 8.5 million ringgit within 2023 to 2024. Tenaga Nasional Berhad (TNB) has signed an agreement with Singapore's Keppel Electric Private Limited or Keppel to supply up to 100 megawatts of electricity in a move to enhance energy cooperation between Malaysia and Singapore. In a filing with Bursa Malaysia today, TNB said this cross-border deal is part of the Lao PDR Thailand Malaysia Singapore Power Integration Project (LTMS PIP) aimed at strengthening energy security and sustainability across ASEAN. TNB President and Chief Executive Officer Datuk Megat Jalaluddin Megat Hassan stated that the agreement aligns with ASEAN's energy goals and establishes Malaysia as an energy hub for the region. He said as a key player in the ASEAN Power Grid (APG), TNB is committed to advancing energy security and leading the region's energy transition. He also said the agreement not only supports cross-border power trade but also reinforces Malaysia's leadership in regional energy connectivity. Besides that, TNB also signed a cross-border power trade interconnection agreement with SP Power Assets Limited to ensure the stable electricity transmission between Malaysia and Singapore. TNB added that its continued investment in grid modernization, including smart grid technologies, interconnections and renewable energy integration, ensures that Malaysia remains at the forefront of ASEAN's journey toward deeper energy integration and long-term energy security. The US Federal Reserve or FED's recent decision to slash interest rate has a significant impact on Malaysia's ringgit, especially in light of shifting currency dynamic across the region. Analysts say the American Central Bank's move to slash 50 basis points on Wednesday, the first in 4 years, will loosen tight monetary policies and inject confidence in weakening currencies. Bank Negara Governor Datuk Seri Abdul Rashid Ghaffur said, besides the US rate cut, Malaysia's positive economic outlook and structural reforms are also propelling the ringgit's rise. The ringgit is hovering around 4.20 against the US dollar today. Meanwhile, CIMB in its daily digest research report yesterday noted that regional currencies strengthened against the greenback, with the ringgit plus 0.4% continuing to lead the pack, followed by the Singapore dollar plus 0.1% and the Thai baht plus 0.1%. Elsewhere, RHB noted that lower global interest rates are generally economically positive for ASEAN economies. The bank, through its research report, said barking the rate cut bandwagon may be observed by both Bank Negara Malaysia and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, where they expect the BNM's OPR to stay at 3.0% for 2024, while MAS is to keep policy parameters unchanged for the whole year. Kenanga Investment Bank Berhad maintains a positive export outlook, projecting a 7.3% growth rate for the year based on current indicators. The bank noted that export growth reached 6.0% year-on-year for the first 8 months of 2024, up from 5.1% in the previous 7 months, though it remains below the full-year target. The investment bank stated that despite this positive momentum, downside risks are increasing, including a potential slowdown in the US economy and a weaker than expected recovery in China. Exports to China have dropped 2.0% year to date, but were partially offset by a strong 18.8% surge in US demand. Malaysia's trade performance remained strong in August, growing 18.6% year-on-year to 252.65 billion ringgit, marking the fastest growth in 22 months. Kenanga Investment is optimistic about Malaysia's achieving a 5.0% GDP growth this year, following a strong first half. Growth is expected to remain resilient for the remainder of the year, driven by robust domestic activity and improving external trade, partly due to a low base effect. However, the investment bank noted that they project growth to moderate to 4.8% in 2025 as global growth, particularly in advanced economies, is anticipated to slow. The Kuala Lumpur rubber market ended lower today amid mixed advice from regional rubber future markets as concerns over the large United States interest rate cut took a toll on sentiments. A dealer said the market sentiment was also dragged down by losses in crude oil prices and the stronger ringgit against the US dollar. Nevertheless, she said further losses were capped by concerns about the tight supply of natural rubber due to adverse weather in major producing countries amid expectations of further stimulus rollouts from China. The dealer said Japanese rubber declined today but is headed for a weekly rise as a tepid Chinese economic outlook clouded the top consumers' demand prospects, although hopes of fresh monetary stimulus boosted sentiment. She noted that the People's Bank of China kept its benchmark loan prime rate unchanged on Friday, but is expected to eventually trim the rate further amid steadily deteriorating economic conditions in the country. The Malaysian Rubber Board's MRB price for standard Malaysian Rubber 20 SMR20 dropped 9 cents to 843 cents per kilogram, while latex and bark decreased by 1.5 cents to 690 cents per kilogram. At 5 p.m., physical SMR20 stood at 835 cents per kilogram, while latex and bark was at 688 cents per kilogram. Oil prices fell slightly today but were set to close higher for the second week in a row, supported by a U.S. interest rate cut and decreasing global stockpiles. Brent futures declined by 26 cents a barrel but increased by 4.3% for the week, while US WTI crude dropped 15 cents, gaining 4.8% weekly. After a rebound since near 3-year lows in September, prices retraced a bit after a Thursday rise following the Federal Reserve's decision to cut rates by 0.5%. While such cuts generally boost economic activity and demand for energy, they also hint at a weak U.S. labour market. ANZ research mentioned that demand concerns due to tight monetary policies had pressured prices, although easing policies suggest steady U.S. economic growth. Additionally, a drop in U.S. crude inventories to a one-year low supported prices. CITI analysts projected a seasonal oil market deficit of about 400,000 barrels daily, which could keep Brent price between $70 and $75 next quarter, despite potential declines in 2025. Conversely, weak demand from China's slowing economy applied downward pressure, with refinery output declining for the 5th month in August, industrial growth at a 5-month low, and continued weakness in retail sales and new home prices. That concludes this evening's Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, ministries and government agencies overseas trips now require ministerial approval. Malaysia Madani, Jiwa Merdeka, I'm SAHIH. Thank you for watching and have a good night.